Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Judge.
It is Thursday, May 11th. This is courtroom number 1. I am Judge Martin. Today's docket is from the townships of Huron and Sumter. If your matter did not start in Huron and Sumter, you are in the wrong place. You may send a chat to court staff. They will help you get where you are supposed to be or should be. And I see that our MIDC court-appointed attorneys this morning are Mr. Jadala, or no, Mr. Batar. Mr. Jadala, are you along or you just have a few items?
I'm also along. I'm also MIDC, Your Honor, and we're ready on Bryant Jones whenever the court is.
Thank you. Oh. Let's start with one 83865 OT. This is Huron Township versus Jonah Hinton. Sir,
Yes.
state your name for me, please.
Jonah Hinton.
Mr. Hinton, the way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You wish to proceed on your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you speak to the prosecutor? Ms.
Yes.
Foley Carter? Did
Yes,
you
ma'am.
reach any agreement with her?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that agreement, sir?
Well, I think drop it down, take the 2 points off the bill on my license, and they drop it down to, I guess it's still to a misdemeanor, and it'll just be, I think it's no
Mr.
points on
Hinton,
it. Yes,
was your conversation with her that you would plead to guilty to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive?
yes, sorry about that. Yes,
Raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
yes, I do.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning to allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. You will not have a trial of any kind in this matter.
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hinton, is it true that on September 5th, 2018, in Huron Township, you allowed an unlicensed driver to drive?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hinton, the court accepts your plea of guilty to the added count of allowing an unlicensed driver to drive and will dismiss the driving while license suspended. Is there anything you want to tell me about yourself or your circumstances before I impose fines and costs in this matter?
No, ma'am. Just, yes, I guess, yes. Just now I'm getting back to work, so I guess I should be able to take care of any fines or anything.
Mr. Hinton, the court will impose a fine of $100, cost of $100. There's $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee. There's a $50 bench warrant fee for a previous bench warrant. There is a $15 administrative fee. That's $410. The court will apply the bond that you've posted, the $150 to offset that amount, which leaves a balance due of $260. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
No, ma'am.
5 days to pay. Anything else, Mr. Hinton?
No, ma'am.
Thank you so much for being timely and this morning, Mr. Hinton. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
All right, you too, and have a blessed one.
Thank you. These are 22 HR 00111 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Bryant Jones. May I have your appearances, please?
Respectfully, Your Honor, Sam Richardella, P 62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Jones. Mr. Jones, please say your name for the court.
Bryant Jones.
Your Honor, today's the,
Thank you.
Your Honor, for purposes of today's arraignment, we'd waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Mr. Jones will be pleading as charged to 1 count of false info to the police, and he'll be pleading to 1 count of no operator's license on person.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down, sir. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding that you will be pleading guilty to giving false information to the police and no operator's license on person.
Yes, ma'am.
Do I understand you, Mr. Jadala?
That is correct, Judge.
Thank you. And Mr. Jones, you understand if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or stand cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And sir, you're entering these pleas freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Jones, is it true that on January 3rd, 2022, in Huron Township, you gave false information to a police officer?
Yes, ma'am.
You gave, specifically, you gave the police officer your brother's name instead of yours when you were pulled over.
Yes, ma'am.
And at the time you did that, you knew that you were giving false information to the police.
I did.
Sir, is it also true that on January 3rd, 2022, again in Huron Township, you operated a motor vehicle with no operator's license on your person?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Jones, the court accepts your pleas of false information to police and no operator's license on person. Mr. Jadala, is there anything you'd like to say before fines and costs are assessed in this matter?
Your Honor, Mr. Jones has taken responsibility for his actions. He understands what he did was improper and illegal, and it will not be repeated.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, the court will impose minimal fines and costs in this matter. There's a $100 fine, $100 in costs. There's $75 mandatory crime. This is on the false information. $75 mandatory crime victims fee. There's a $50 show cost for failure to appear, $50 warrant, $15 administrative fees, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee, $50 late fee, $45 clearance fee. On the no operator's license, there's a $100 fine, $100 in cost, $75 mandatory crime victims fee, $50 mandatory state cost, $20 fund fee, $50 show cost fee, $50 warrant fee, $50 late fee, and $15 administrative fee. Mr. Jones, I haven't done the math on all of those. It looks to be in the area of about $1,020, sir. Do you need a payment plan or are you able to pay that amount within the next 5 days?
I'm gonna need a payment plan.
I'm looking to see if there's someone in the collections. There's no one in the collections, sir. So what I need you to do, please, is go online to the court's website. There's a contact us button. You can click that. It'll drop down and give you the opportunity to submit a payment plan request. Or you may call the court's collection department, speak to a clerk, and have them set a payment plan, okay?
Okay.
There's also an order for fingerprints that the court has signed. Mr. Jones, you need to present yourself to the Huron Township Police Department and have your fingerprints taken in this matter. Please do that within the next 30 days, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Jadala?
Nothing further, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Jones, good luck to you. Have a good day. Don't forget to call the collections department.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. French.
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, I have Gonzalez on my calendar. I thought we had resolved that matter.
Gonzalez, at what time, sir?
8:30.
I don't have a Gonzalez at 8:30. If you need to go into a breakout with Mary Ann and give her the information, she can look the case up for you to make sure that it is in fact resolved.
Thank you. I will do that.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Zelenik. You're muted, sir.
You know what happens, judges? I'm way over 40, so I can't handle this high tech. Good morning, Your Honor. I have Mr. Pishon, and he's got to clean his mess up. They've given him a year. I need a 2-week adjournment subject to your approval, and Ms. Foley indicated she would not object to that. I spoke with her yesterday. I believe she's logged in. Now, I apologize, Your Honor, because I was out of the country when he came in with the tickets last weekend. I thought they were civil infractions. So I told him I'd handle it. I'd ask you to excuse my error in not having him appear this morning.
If you give me a second, these are 23 HR 04516 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Gordon Pishon. Your appearances, please.
Good morning, Edward Zelenak, P27611. I didn't want to cut Ms. Foley Carter off, so if I did, I apologize, Your Honor. Appearing for the defendant, ask the court to waive his appearance due to my insolence here and stand on mute, enter plea of not guilty, and adjourn the pretrial for a date that's reasonable for the court. There'll be a plea in this case, Your Honor, but I understand exactly where the township's coming from, and he's got to clean up that mess. He's an old French farmer, and it's time to grow up and get rid of the junk.
Your appearance, ma'am.
Caitlin Foley Carter on behalf of Huron Township, Your Honor.
Thank
That
you.
is accurate. We just want compliance. I have no objection to a 4-week adjournment.
I was going to say, in preparing for today's docket, there was already a notation from the prosecutor that you requested a 4-week adjournment, and she had no objection. Mary Ann, that date, 4 weeks from now?
June 8th
Very well, Judge.
at 8:30.
Perfect for me. And I appreciate you taking
And
the
in the
bench even
interim-
before.
I'm sorry, Mr. Zelenak. In the interim, the bond in these matters will be set at 1,000 personal. I've made an indication that your client's appearance was waived. 8:30 back on Zoom, back with me, 8:30 a.m. on June the 8th. Mr. Zelenak, what was it that you were trying to say, sir?
Well, you know, it must have not been that important because it slipped my mind. I'm sure I was apologizing for some other foolishness. No, I'll be there at 8:30, and I appreciate the fact, Your Honor, that you were on the bench before 8:30. It's good to see that. It's pleasant to see that today, Your Honor. Thank you.
My docket starts at 8, so I'm here when I ask people to be here.
Well, maybe I'll see you at 8 o'clock then, Judge. I'm an early riser too. Thank you. Thank you, Mary Ann, and thank you, Ms. Foley. Judge, one day hope to see you in person here. Thank you so much.
Take care, sir. Mary Ann, you got Mr. French situated?
I put him in with Andy.
Thank you, ma'am. Two, three, SU 003350T. This is Sumter Township versus Copeland Nash.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. Turn your video on for me, please.
1 second. Okay, here you are.
Thank you. State your name for me, sir.
My name is Otha Copeland Nash.
Have you been in to speak with the prosecutor this morning?
No, I called the clerk to get the court number today.
Have you spoken to an attorney this morning?
No, ma'am.
You'll see you'll see an invitation to go into a breakout room. They'll send you in to talk to the clerks to confirm your information and the court-appointed attorney, and eventually back here with me, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, Judge, he was already
Thank you.
sent, he was already sent that invitation. He just needs to click on the join button.
Oh, I apologize. I didn't see it
Are
here.
you,
I'm
wait,
clicking that
sir,
now.
are you driving?
No, I'm riding. I'm not driving.
Please join the breakout room, follow the directions of the court staff and the court-appointed attorney. I'll see you back here when you're ready.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Young, thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you, Judge. How are you? Good morning. Glad to see everybody. Already had a chance to meet with my good friend, Mr. Dan Batar over here, so we're in it, Judge. I didn't bother you until I was ready to see you.
Yeah. This is 23SU000120BOT. This is Sumter Township versus Robert Walker. May I have your appearances, please?
Robert Young, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Walker.
Your Honor, I've been convinced that Mr. Walker has a valid license in Ohio and there was a mishap, so I moved to dismiss the charge.
I'm sorry, Mr. Walker, state your name for me, sir.
Robert Jermaine Walker.
Any objection, Mr. Batar?
Absolutely not.
Mr. Walker, this case is hereby dismissed, sir. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I'm waiting for
Batar
Mr.
must have
Frazier.
made
I
some
don't know if he's
wonderful
stuck somewhere between the breakout room and here, but if we can get him in, he's ready to go also.
Yep, I'll bring him back out.
This is 23SU000251B, Sumter Township versus Larry Frazier. Your appearances, please.
Robert Young, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
State your name for me, sir.
Larry Wayne Frazier Jr.
Mr. Frazier, the way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney, sir. Is that correct?
Yes.
Is your intention to proceed on your own this morning?
Yes.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Young?
Yes.
Mr. Young, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, his license had expired at the time of the ticket. He indicates and appears to me that he was able to get his license reinstated on the same day. So under those circumstances, what I've asked the court to consider is double parking 175, and that'll take care of it.
Mr. Frazier, is that how you wish to proceed this morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you understand that the court accepts your plea this morning. You will not have a trial of any kind.
I do.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promise anything to get you to plead responsible.
No.
Sir, is it true that on March the 8th, 2023 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Mr. Frazier, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, will dismiss the misdemeanor driving while license not valid. Mr. Young has indicated that the agreed upon fine would be $175. Sir, there was a $50 show cause for a prior failure to appear. That's a total of $225. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
No.
5 days to pay, sir, $225. You can pay it online, you can mail it to the court, or you can bring it to the court. Anything else, Mr. Frazier?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You have a wonderful day. That concludes this matter.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor, I think we might have lost Mr. Engel. It was going to be an adjournment.
Two three HR 02858OM. Huron Township versus Danny Engel.
Caitlin Foley Carter, I'm with Huron Township, Your Honor. I did have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Engel earlier this morning. His understanding and my understanding was that we were going to adjourn this case for 2 weeks in order to seek compliance.
Well, my only concern, not concern, my only issue is that the note from you in the file indicates a 30-day adjournment. When you
Okay.
talked to Mr. Engel this morning, did you agree to a specific date? Our next, looks like our next docket date with you would be May 25th.
That's what we did speak about. It's my understanding that he's complied. I just need the ordinance officer to confirm. So I think 2-week adjournment should be just fine.
So
Rob, can I see you in your meeting room, please?
5:25 at what time, Mary
Yeah.
Ann?
8:40.
Mr. Batar and Mr. Young, if you can't figure out a way to chat each other or move each other differently, if you could, that would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Foley Carter.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Is Mr. Carr with you by chance?
He is not, Your Honor, but he should be zooming in pretty soon.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, Rob, it looks like there's someone that was just put in your waiting room.
All right.
These are
These are
two,
three issues.
0403 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Holston. May I have your appearances, please?
Daniel Batar on behalf of Ms. Holston, Your Honor.
State your name, ma'am.
Kiara Holster.
Thank you, Ms. Holston. Today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial on these matters. Mr. Batar, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Ms. Holston is going to plead responsible to double parking with a stipulated fine of $250.
Thank you. Ms. Holston, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, you had the opportunity to discuss this case this morning with Mr. Batar, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, it's your understanding that you will be pleading responsible to the added count of double parking and the registration or plate violation, and the driving while license suspended will be dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything to get you to plead responsible?
No.
Ms. Holston, is it true that on April 13, 2023, in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Batar?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Ms. Holston, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. The civil infraction plate violation is dismissed along with the driving while license suspended. As indicated by Mr. Batar, the fine in this matter will be $275. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, that concludes this court's part of the hearing this morning. You'll now be transferred into the collections department. There will be a clerk in there momentarily to discuss putting you on the payment plan for that $275. They can roll it into your existing payment plans with the court, okay?
Yes.
Have a good day. Good luck to you.
Thank you, too.
Mr. Bernstein, did you need to speak to Mr. Carr?
No, Your Honor, I think we're all set to go on the record.
You didn't need to speak to the prosecutor either?
No, I don't need to, Your Honor. That's okay. Thank you.
Okay. These are 23 HR 01169 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Delmar Carr. May I have your appearances, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Caitlin Foley Kern, Huron Township, Your Honor.
Morning, Your Honor. Sam Bernstein with and on behalf of Mr. Carr. Mr. Carr, could you please state your name for the judge?
Delmar Carr.
Thank you. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pretrial in this case. Mr. Carr went to the probation department for screening. Mr. Bernstein, how are we proceeding this morning?
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Carr and I were trying to work towards getting Mr. Carr screened into the treatment court program. And he did put some work towards that. He filled out some paperwork. Unfortunately, some of that paperwork was a little bit late. and him and Miss Rapp had a very difficult time connecting following that. You know, and Mr. Carr he's still committed towards getting into the sobriety court program. I think we're hoping for a little bit more time to continue working towards that, and we'll stay on top of it to ensure that the communication gets handled correctly.
Will June 8th give you enough time?
Yes, Your Honor. That should be enough time. Thank you.
At what time, Mary Ann?
8:40.
We'll adjourn this matter over to June 8th, 2023 at 8:40 a.m. back here in number 1 on Zoom to allow additional time for Mr. Carr to communicate and be screened by Ms. Rapp for this court's sobriety court. Anything else on behalf of Huron Township?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else on behalf of Mr. Carr?
No, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Carr, thank you for being so timely this morning, sir. Good luck to you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
It's a recall of 23SU003350T, Sumter Township versus Copeland Nash. Your appearances, please.
Respectfully, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
We'll see, good.
Good morning, Your Honor.
And Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Jadala, P62186, appearing on behalf of Mr. Copeland Nash.
Robert Young, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Your Honor, for purposes of arraignment, would waive formal reading and stand mute. At this time, Mr. Copeland Nash will be pleading responsible to 1 count of double parking with an agreed amount of fine of $250. He is going to need to speak with collections for that matter.
Thank you. Mr. Copeland Nash, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you had an opportunity to meet with Mr. Jadala this morning. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala, it's your understanding that you will be pleading responsible to an added count of double parking and paying a fine of $250, and the misdemeanor driving while license suspended would be dismissed.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No, not at all.
Sir, is it true that on March 29, 2023 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Copeland Nash, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. The driving while license suspended is dismissed. The court will impose a fine of $250 as previously indicated. That concludes the matter you have in this main session. Sir, you'll see an invitation to go into the breakout room. Please go there and speak to Maria from the court's collection department. She'll help you set a payment plan for that $250, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Belcher.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I am super. How have you been?
Good. Good to see you.
Good to see you. It's been a long time. We have you scheduled at 10:50 unless you know something I don't know.
Oh, I thought that Mary Ann set it for 9 a.m. because I had a conflict at 10 at Frank Murphy.
I'm happy to take your case. Is your client joining us this morning?
She is logging on right now. She just sent me a text message.
Okay. I don't see her quite yet. I don't know if maybe she's in with the court staff. I don't see her, but as soon as they move her, as soon as she comes or they move her to the main session, I'll get a call so you can get over to Frank Murphy.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Newman, good morning, sir.
Morning, Your Honor.
How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm wonderful. Is your client with you or joining separately?
He is joining separately. He should have called in.
I'm not watching the breakout rooms. If he's here, he might be in with, he's in with court staff waiting to be screened. They'll verify his phone number,
Okay,
email address, and then get him back in this main session. I'll get it called when I see him. I see some 840 cases. These are 23SU 00364 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Marcel Priester. Mr. Priester, state your name for me, sir.
Marcel Priester.
Mr. Priester, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Excuse me. Is your intention to proceed on your own?
Yes.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Young,
Your Honor, in light of the circumstances and the fact that this was a ticket that got lost in the mail, double parking, $200. I told him $250, but I looked at this and checked it out, so $200.
Mr. Priester, do you understand the offer that's been made?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, do you wish to accept that offer?
Yes.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Okay.
Sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you plea responsible?
No.
Sir, is it true that on April the 5th, 2023 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Mr. Priester, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the double parking, will dismiss the misdemeanor driving while license suspended and the player registration violation that went along with it. As indicated by Mr. Young, the court will impose a fine of $200. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, actually, I need 2 weeks if that's possible. Until I get my
14 days
10.
to, absolutely, Mr. Priester, 14 days to pay. Anything else this morning, Mr. Priester?
No.
Have a good day, sir. You can
Thank
pay
you.
online, you can pay in person.
All right, appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Solak. This is 22SU 01258OT, Sumter Township versus Sean Solak. State your name for me, please, sir.
Sean Solak.
Mr. Solak, the way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that
Yes, ma'am.
correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You intend to proceed on your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor, Mr. Young?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Young, how are we proceeding this morning?
Same as the prior one, Your Honor, $200, double parking, dismissed, the driving while license suspended.
Mr. Solak,
Yes, ma'am.
raise your right hand for me, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You understand that you'll be pleading responsible to the added count of double parking and the misdemeanor driving while license suspended would be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts the plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Solak, is it true that on December 22nd, 2022 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Solak, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the double parking and will dismiss the driving while license suspended, revoked, or denied. Mr. Young previously indicated that the fine in this matter would be $200. The court has costs associated with this case as well. Mr. Solak, the case is in warrant status. The court will recall the warrant. There is a $50 show cause fee, a $50 warrant fee. That's a total of $300 in this matter. Do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
Yes, please.
Mr. Solak, that concludes your portion of the case in this main session, but you'll be moved into the breakout room with Maria from the Collections Department. She'll be able to help put you on a payment plan for this $300. It can be added to your existing payment plan with the court. Anything else this
Okay.
morning?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
This is 23SU00366 AOT. This is Sumter Township versus Edgar Osorio Garcia. May I have your appearances, please?
Robert Young, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Morning, Your Honor. May it please this honorable court, Attorney David Newman appearing on behalf of Edgar Osorio Garcia, who is present via Zoom or via phone call. Please state your name for the record, Edgar.
Hello, how are you?
Edgar, please state your name for the record.
Edgar Enrique Osorio Garcia.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Newman. How are we proceeding in this matter?
I have not had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Young. If I can be placed in a breakout room with him, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Mr. Solak, you should see an invitation to go into the collections room to meet
Yeah,
with
bye.
Maria from the Collections Department.
I just got it. Thank you.
Mr. McCoy?
Yes.
This is 23SU00302OT. This is Sumter Township versus Albert McCoy. State your name for the record, please, sir.
Albert McCoy.
Turn your video on for me, please, sir. Are you driving, Mr. McCoy?
No.
Mr. McCoy, the way the staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes.
You wish to proceed on your own in this matter?
Yes.
Have you spoken to the prosecutor, Mr. Young?
No.
Mr. McCoy, you'll see an invitation to go into a waiting room to meet with the prosecutor. After you've had a chance to speak to Mr. Young, he'll convey an offer to you. You'll come back to this main session. I will recall this case.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Thank you.
there's been you need to join the breakout room. There was an invitation earlier. You just need to click on that, please.
Mr. Sozel?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. What are you here for?
Taylor Pitcher, Pitcher.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Young yet, sir?
Not yet. Please, breakout room.
We'll see you to his waiting room. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. McCoy, did you see the invitation to join the breakout room? Yep, great.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Mr. McCoy?
Yes, I'm having trouble with the meeting room. I don't know what's going on. I've been in here for like an hour. I still haven't talked to no prosecutor.
He's here. He might be meeting with someone else, sir.
Okay.
Sir, did you join the breakout room?
Yes, I've been in there for a while.
Good morning, Ms. Stockdale.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm wonderful, ma'am. How are you?
Good, Your Honor. Thank you.
Ms. Belcher, have you had the opportunity to speak to Ms. Foley Carter?
It appears she's in a breakout room, Judge.
I see. Thank you. Ms. Belcher, did you have an opportunity to speak to the prosecutor in this matter? Or did you
Yes,
need to speak
Judge.
to Ms. Stockdale? Okay.
I do not.
These are 23HR 03393 A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Ashley Stockdale. May I have your appearances, please?
Caitlin Foley Carter on behalf of Huron Township, Your Honor.
And good morning, Your Honor. May it please the court, Leanna Belcher on behalf of Miss Ashley Stockdale. Miss Stockdale, will you please state your name?
Ashley Marie Stockdale.
Thank you. Ms. Belcher, how are we proceeding in these matters this morning?
Your Honor, I believe these matters are set for an arraignment pretrial. As it relates to the arraignment, we waive formal reading and stand mute. Moving to the pretrial portion, I did receive the paper discovery a week or two ago from Miss Foley Carter. She got me the videos in the case earlier this week. My office has not had the opportunity to download them and view them with Miss Stockdale yet. So we are respectfully requesting, Judge, that we adjourn the pretrial so I have time to go through the discovery.
Thank you. In the interim, Ms. Stockdale, your bond will be set at 1,000 personal. You do not need to post any money, but what you need to do is continue to appear in these proceedings as directed by the court. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Belcher, how long of an adjournment are you looking for?
Let me see. What is your next hearing date, Judge?
I'm looking at May 25th or June the 8th.
I am out of the office on the 25th. And I'm out on the 8th. My son has a neurologist. He has to see a specialist, Judge. So I had to take some time off. I'm sorry.
June 22nd?
I'll make that date work, Judge.
At what time, Mary Ann, please?
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. back on Zoom, back with me in courtroom number 1. Anything else, Ms. Foley Carter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Belcher?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Stockdale. I'll see you on June the 22nd, back on Zoom at 9 a.m. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you, Your Honor. You too.
Thank you.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning. All right. See, I've got Mr. Lane and Mr. Williams. Okay.
Josh.
Hey, Caitlin, can I meet with you in a breakout room real quick?
Of course.
All right. I'll come to your meeting room.
I'll see you there.
I'm becoming convinced that the chat fixture does not work, Mary Ann. I'm convinced of it. Oh, okay. This is a recall of Sumter Township versus Rosario Garcia. I've noted your appearances for the record. You've had an opportunity to speak. Mr. Newman, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor. I've had an opportunity to speak with Mr. Young. We've reached a resolution to dismiss the misdemeanor for plate violation, Your Honor.
Dismiss it outright in its entirety?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor, that was the deal that I made after discussions with Mr. Newman.
This case is hereby dismissed. Anything else, Mr. Young?
No, Your Honor.
That'll be. Thank
Anything
you.
else, Mr. Newman?
That'll be it, Your Honor. Thank you. Thank you,
Have a
Mr.
good
Young.
day.
Have a good one.
I'm sure there's a story. I'm super curious. Mr. LeBute, we're just waiting for Mr. Camilleri. As soon as I see him, I'll get your case called, sir.
Thank you.
Did Mr. Callaway, I'm sorry, Mr. McCoy,
Yes.
did you speak to Mr. Young yet?
No, I still haven't spoken to him.
No, sir, go back into the room. He's going right now.
Can you send me like an invite or something? Because I don't have that meeting thing on my screen anymore.
I just did.
Good morning, Ms. Callaway.
Good morning.
What are you here for, ma'am?
I am here as a witness to a dog biting. A dog bit my sister, and there's a case I understand is scheduled for today.
Do you
Her
know
name
the
is Phyllis
defendant's
Davis.
name?
Yes, I have it right here. The owners of the dog was Zila, Utley.
Thank you. That's at 9, this is scheduled at 9:20. I have not called
Yes,
that
ma'am.
case yet, ma'am. If you keep yourself muted,
Okay.
thank you.
The gentleman who just joined by, you're identified as Galaxy. I just sent you an invitation to join a breakout room. If you could click on that, please.
vision in my head of short videos where it's like, for example, Megan and I are talking and I'm like, Megan says, I think that's a terrible idea, and it explains why it's a terrible idea. And says, if you need help, you can go to michiganlegalhelp.org, or you can think about just short to the point, just that's a bad idea. This is why it's a bad idea. You're going to get help. I don't real life situations. Yeah.
Your Honor, this is Paul Zozel. We have a resolution on Pitcher.
Where's your client, sir?
He won't be here today. With your permission, I waive his appearance under the court rule. It's a civil infraction.
This is 23SU004270I, Sumter Township versus Taylor Elizabeth Pitcher. Your appearance, sir.
Your Honor, my name is Paul Zozel, ZOSELP 22757, on behalf of Miss Pitcher. I waive her appearance. It's a civil infraction. With your permission, I have full authority to plead responsible to the amended charge.
And that would be, sir?
Double parking with an agreed upon fine of $225.
Does your client need more than 5 days to pay that amount, sir?
Yes, please. Well, probably not. I'd rather than go into I'll make sure she pays it within 5 days.
5 days to pay the double parking for Taylor Elizabeth Pitcher. Anything else this morning, sir?
No, thank you for your patience with me. Thank you, Judge.
Have a good day, sir. Thank you.
You too.
There's just like a tremendous amount of confusion about whether in a private arbitration the bar's position has always been, yes, they do have to be admitted for HOCBJ because Rule 5.5, which admittedly is very difficult to decipher. The rule is, half a page long. The interpretive comments are 3 pages long. But Rule 5.5 says they can practice temporarily in this state, including for an arbitration, unless otherwise. Unless Pro Hoc Vitae is otherwise required. The Pro Hoc Vitae rule specifically says that it applies to arbitration. So the bar's position has always been the Pro Hoc Vitae rule says that you have to be admitted to participate in arbitrations. So that's why we have ethics meets on Friday. That's why there's been this little bit of conflict. We get a ton of UPL complaints.
Judge, do you hear someone talking?
That's me.
Okay.
We say file for Pro Hoc Vitae admission, consider that hearing. That would be close to file. Good morning, Mr. Bowditch.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Mr. Bowditch, I saw that your first case was, your case is scheduled at 8:30. Have you been in contact with your client?
Your Honor, I had it on my schedule as 9:45. But yes, I have been in contact with my client. He's going to come on in a few minutes here. It's Mr. Cavins, Cavins.
I see that one, but we have your name next to a Samuel Hamilton at 8:30.
Oh, I apologize, Your Honor. I didn't have that on my
No.
list.
It might be it might be a court issue, sir.
Your Honor, did someone appear? Is someone waiting to talk to me about it? I'll speak with them.
I don't think so. It's been a morning, Mr. Bowditch, so as soon as we see your client appear, I'll get your case called.
All right, thank you, Your Honor. Is Mr. Young
You're welcome.
available?
He's in his meeting room and he has multiple people waiting to speak to him.
All right.
You
Well,
need to be
we're
queued
ready.
up to speak to him?
Yes, ma'am, if I could. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Camilleri, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. I had two hearings going at one time.
This is 22 HR 132110D. This is Huron Township versus David LeBute.
Larry, on behalf of David Cornelius LeBute.
Did I do the right thing?
I'm sorry, sir, state your name for me, please.
David Cornelius LeBute III.
Thank you. This court received confirmation yesterday that Mr. LeBute has been accepted into the court sobriety court. And Mr. Camilleri, this matter will be continued to May the 16th, 2023 at 9 a.m. It will be with Judge Green in courtroom number 3, where she will take his plea and admit him into the sobriety court program. Was that your understanding, sir?
Mr. LeBute?
Yes.
Oh, that was asking you, Mr. Camilleri.
Oh, yeah, that is my understanding, Judge.
So this matter is now adjourned to May the 16th, 2023 at 9 a.m. for a Zoom in number 3 with Judge Green. Was there anything else, Ms. Foley Carter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Camilleri?
Just that, Judge, I got to be in recorder's court at 9 a.m. I don't know if we can make it at 11 if you have the ability to do that now.
I don't control that docket. I got that information from Ms. Rapp. So Mr. Camilleri, if you would reach out to Ms. Rapp.
Okay.
For a later time, I'll make a notation in the file that there's an issue for you. But please reach out to her.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. Mr. LeBute, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These are 22 HR 09674 A, B, and C. These are Huron Township versus Anthony Williams. May I have your appearances, please?
Caitlin Foley Carter on behalf of Huron Township, Your Honor.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Hadley appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Anthony Williams, is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Williams, please state your full name for the court.
Anthony Williams.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley, how are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, after having an opportunity to advise my client of his rights, meet with the prosecutor and review the evidence, we would like to avail ourselves of the people's plea offer at this time, Your Honor, whereby we will be pleading guilty to the offense of operating while visibly impaired, and the registration and plate case and the driving while license not valid will both be dismissed.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, raise your right hand for me, please, sir.
Yes.
Do you swear from the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Hadley. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, ma'am.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding you will be tendering a plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired, and the other 2 misdemeanors will be dismissed.
Yes.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity, I'm sorry. And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yeah.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Mr. Williams, is it true that on August the 28th, 2022 in Huron Township, you operated a motor vehicle while you were visibly impaired by some intoxicant?
Yes.
Mr. Hadley, would you like to inquire further of your client?
No, Your Honor, I feel the elements of the crime have been so satisfied.
Satisfied, Ms. Foley Carter?
Satisfied, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Williams, the court accepts your plea of guilty to operating while visibly impaired and will dismiss the other 2 misdemeanor cases as previously indicated. Sir, inasmuch as this is your first appearance, there was not a bond in this case. The court will set your bond at $5,000 personal. Because this was a drinking and driving offense, sir, the next step in these proceedings is that the matter will be referred to the probation department. They're the ones who will interview you and develop a sentence recommendation, get you scheduled to come back before me for sentence to be imposed. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Anything else in this matter, Ms. Foley Carter?
Nothing, Your Honor. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Williams, the probation department will email you and call you. Please respond to their emails and their phone calls so we can keep this matter on track, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day, sir. Good luck to you.
You too. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Mr. Forrester. This is 1921040M, Sumter Township versus Christopher Forrester. State your name for me, sir.
My name is Christopher Forrester.
Mr. Forrester, the way the court staff have you labeled indicating that you're waiving, indicates to me that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
It's your intention to proceed on your own.
Yes, ma'am.
You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Young this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Young, how are we proceeding? You're muted, sir.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I had it on mute. Mr. Forrester's charge, as you can see, is 2019. I have a report in front of me, same charge for 2021. And he indicated that he had a recent matter a couple of weeks ago. So I'm asking the court to give me an adjournment to try to straighten this out and also maybe to resolve both of these if the court pleases.
How long of an adjournment do you need, sir?
Just until the next, whatever the next hearing is, Your Honor.
The 25th?
Of
Judge, it's June 8th.
June 8th, okay.
He's not here. Is it just Huron on the 25th?
Correct.
June 8th at what time, Mary Ann?
8:40.
And then what I'll do
Mr.
is I'll get this together and I'll try to get rid of both of them for Mr. Forrester, and we can take care of it all.
Thank you.
All right,
Mr.
thank you,
Forrester,
Judge.
I will see you on June 8th at 8:40 a.m., sir. Have a good day.
Okay. And are you
Notice
going
will be mailed to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Forrester? Oh, nope, gone. Oh. This is 1622980T. This is Sumter Township versus Clinton Evans. May I have your appearance, please?
Robert Evans, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans, state your name for me, sir.
Clinton Evans.
Mr. Evans, the way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
You intend to proceed on your own, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to the prosecutor this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Young, how are we proceeding in this matter?
$250 double parking fine, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans, you were able to hear Mr. Young just now?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, that's how you like to proceed in this matter?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
You may put your hand down. Sir, you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No, ma'am.
Sir, for the purposes of resolving this matter, is it true that on May the 29th, 2016, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Evans, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and will dismiss the driving while license suspended. Sir, Mr. Young indicated a fine of $250. There are two costs that the court is unable to waive. There is a $50 bench warrant fee. Well, there's a $150 bench warrant fee, sir.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Yes. That would be a total of $400. Do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
Yes, please.
Sir, we'll see you in with the, looks like, we'll see you in with the collection staff. They'll be able to put you on a payment plan. They can roll it into the other amounts that you owe the court for other older matters, okay?
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. This is 23SU00407 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Zella Utley or Utley. State your name for me, ma'am.
Zella F.
Ma'am, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You intend to proceed on your own this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Young, the prosecutor in this case?
No, ma'am.
Ma'am, you'll see an invitation to go into a breakout room to talk to Mr. Young.
We were in a breakout room, ma'am, but nothing was said.
So you will go back there now, so you'll see another invitation to go there and talk to him about this matter, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley and Ms. Foley Carter, I'm stepping off for just a moment. I will be right back. I see a couple of people have waived the right to have the assistance of the MIDC attorney. We'll take those matters up first.
Very good. Mr. Young, man, since the judge is taking a quick break, can I meet with you in a breakout room real fast? I sent a chat, but I think I keep hopping out before you're
Sure.
Let me see if I can do this.
You're gonna have to put up with me with the other one that's in there first, just so I can kick it back, okay? So.
No problem. I'm trying to find yours on here. There. Sumter meeting room. Okay.
These are 23SU00239A and B and 23SU00423OT. These are Sumter Township versus Kayla Cooper. Ms. Cooper, unmute yourself, turn your video on and state your name for the record, please.
Kayla Cooper.
Ms. Cooper, the way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You intend to proceed on your own, ma'am? That's a question. Ms. Cooper?
Hello.
Ms. Cooper?
Yes.
My question to you is, do you intend to proceed on your own this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had the chance to speak to the prosecutor in this matter, Mr. Young?
Yes.
Did you reach any agreement?
Double parking verdict, the $300 cost.
Raise your right hand for me, please. Ms. Cooper, do you swear or affirm that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, ma'am. You put your hand down. And Ms. Cooper, you indicated on the record that you had conversation with Mr. Young, and it was your understanding that you'll be pleading responsible to the added count of double parking, and the 3 misdemeanor matters will be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead responsible?
No, ma'am.
And Ms. Cooper, for purposes of resolving this case this morning, is it true that on March 6, 2023 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Cooper, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and dismiss the misdemeanor matters that were pending against you. And your understanding was that your total fines would be? The dollar amount, ma'am, that you negotiated with Mr. Young?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that dollar amount, ma'am?
$300.
There's $300 for the double parking, ma'am, and there is one show cost fee of $50. That's $350 total. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, we'll move you in with the collections department. They'll put you on a payment plan
Okay.
for the $350. Have a good day.
You too.
Thank you. Ms. Bogie, your label saying that you're seeking retained counsel. Are you speaking to the court-appointed attorneys this morning?
Yeah, I spoke with the prosecutor this morning, but I have an attorney that I'm working with, Your Honor. And
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of retaining a lawyer. I spoke with him yesterday.
Ma'am, no. Oh, no. Stop. I need to call the case first. I just asked because the way you're labeled is unusual.
Sure.
This is 23HR04249OM. This is Huron Township versus Stephanie Bogie. May I have your appearance, please?
Caitlin Foley Carter on behalf of Huron Township, Your Honor.
State your name for me, ma'am.
Stephanie Lynn Bogie.
Ms. Bogie, what I was starting to ask before was the way the court staff has you labeled says that you're seeking retained counsel. My question to you was, did you speak to the court-appointed attorneys this morning, or do you already have retained counsel in mind?
I already have a retained counsel in mind.
Who is the person? Who is the attorney?
His name is Marcel Benavida.
I'm sorry, Mark Belvita?
Marcel, Marcel, and then Benavides.
Was he not available this morning?
Yes, he was not available.
Thank you. Ms. Foley Carter. How are we proceeding this morning?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to speak with Ms. Boji. It's my understanding that she is hiring an attorney and the June 8th date would work best for him.
So we're putting this matter over. I'll take it.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Ms. Boji, how, in conversations with your proposed attorney, how long did they need to be available?
I just spoke with them yesterday. So he gave me a set of dates that he was not available. So
He gave you, ma'am, stop smoking, please. He gave you a set of dates that he is not available?
correct.
Okay, would he be available on May the 25th?
Yes,
8:50, Judge.
May the 25th at 8:50 a.m. back here on Zoom with me. Ms. Boji, notice will be mailed to you at the address we have on file. Anything else this morning, Ms. Foley Carter?
Nothing else, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck to you, ma'am. I'll see you in 2 weeks.
thank you, Your Honor.
This is a recall of the Utley matter. Mr.
Utley?
Young, you've now had an opportunity to speak with her.
Come on. Get
Oh, I thought I just saw him.
Miss Cooper, you'll have to join the breakout room to speak with me.
I'm on the phone, Rose. Okay.
These are 113827 and 113828. These are Huron Township versus Frankie Bitts. May I have your appearance, please?
I'm here, Your Honor.
No, ma'am. Turn your video on and state your name, please.
I try and my name. My video won't come on.
State your name.
My name is Frankie Leavis, Your Honor. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my video going.
Ma'am, the way the court staff have you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney this morning. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You intend to proceed on your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Foley Carter, how are we proceeding in this matter?
Your Honor, the people are amending the citation to double parking for 200 and dismissing the original 2 charges.
Video's not working.
Ms. Bitts, were you able to hear Ms. Foley Carter just now?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, is it your understanding that you will plead responsible to the added count of double parking, pay a $200 fine, and that both the underlying misdemeanor matters will be dismissed?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that if the court accepts that plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind?
Yes, ma'am.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And ma'am, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promising anything?
No, ma'am. Doing it all on my own. Uh-oh, what happened?
Ma'am, I'm sorry, give me 1 second. I'm trying to write in the files.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
You're
just seen
fine.
another
No,
lady.
no, ma'am. Nope, you're fine. Is it true for purposes of resolving this matter this morning, Ms. Bitts, is it true that on October 20th, 2011, in Huron Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Bitts, the court will accept your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. The open intoxicant and the driving while license suspended charges are dismissed. Ms. Foley Carter previously indicated that the fine in this matter would be $200. I just want to take a look in the file to make sure that there is no. Ma'am, there are bench warrant fees in this case that cannot be waived. There's $100 in bench warrant fees and a $45 clearance fee. The court is unable to waive those. That's a total of $345. The court is able to apply the bond of $150. Do you need more than 5 days to pay the remaining balance?
So I still owe 100 and how much? 45?
195.
195 more?
Yes.
No, I can pay that. I can pay that probably today or tomorrow. I just have to get a ride there. Get a
I'll
ride
write in
there.
the file 5 days to pay, Ms. Bitts.
All right, thank you very much. Said
You're
195,
very
right?
welcome. Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Have a good day.
You too, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. McDermott.
Morning, Judge.
Have you spoken to Mr. Young regarding this matter?
I have not yet, no.
Let's get you into his waiting room, sir. Mr. McCoy, did you ever get in to speak to Mr. Young? You're
Yes.
muted.
Yes.
This is a recall of 23SU03020T, Sumter Township versus McCoy. The court has your appearances noted. Mr. Young, how are we proceeding in this matter?
$250 double parking, dismissed, the driving while license suspended, Your Honor.
Mr. McCoy, raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. McCoy, you have the opportunity to speak to Mr. Young, and it's your understanding that you will be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, paying a $250 fine, and the underlying misdemeanor will be dismissed.
Yes, Your Honor.
And that's how you wish to resolve this matter.
Yes.
For purposes of resolving the case, Mr. McCoy, is it true that on March 19, 2023 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Mr. McCoy, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the double parking, will dismiss the driving while license suspended, assess the $250 fine that you discussed with and agreed to with Mr. Young. There's also a $50 show cause fee that cannot be waived. That's a total of $300. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
Mr. McCoy, you will now see an invitation to go into the collections department. Please go in there with Maria, set a payment plan on the $300. If you have difficulty in navigating those breakout rooms again, you may call the court, speak to the collections department and set a payment plan. You can come in person, set a payment plan, or you can submit a request for a payment plan from the court's website. Good luck to you, sir. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.
These are 23SU00117OM, 115BOT, and 115AOM. These are all Sumter Township versus James Arthur. May I have your appearances, please?
I'm here, ma'am.
Your Honor, I think we're set to go. Attorney Josh Hadley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. James Arthur. We did have a chance to speak with the prosecutor. I believe he's asking for one brief adjournment to go verify the facts that we gave him today.
Sir, state your name for me, please.
James Alton.
Thank you. Mr. Hadley, that adjourn date will put us on June the 8th.
And will that stay with you, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
8:50, Judge.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Mr. Arthur will return here on June the 8th at 8:50 a.m.
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Young?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr. Although you were starting to ask something, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I will see you on June 8th. Have a good afternoon. Mr. McDermott, did you have a chance to speak to Mr. Young?
Yes, Judge, we have a resolution.
Give me 1 second, I'll get to that. This is 23SU 004320I, Sumter Township versus Bernard Jerome Thomas. Your appearances, please.
Robert Young, Sumter Township, Your Honor.
Sean McDermott on behalf of Mr. Thomas.
This matter was scheduled for pre-hearing this morning. Mr. McDermott, you've indicated that there's a resolution. What is that, please, sir?
Double parking, $175 fine, Judge. I do have authority on behalf of my client to accept that reduction.
Court accepts that plea of responsible to the added count of double parking. Fine of $175. Mr. McDermott, does your client need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
Can we get 2 weeks, Judge?
14 days to pay. Anything else, Mr. Young?
No, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. McDermott?
No, Judge, thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too, sir. Thank you. Mr. Lane.
Morning.
Okay. These are 23SU 00121 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Brian William Lane. May I have your appearances, please?
Robert Young, Sumter Township.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Josh Adley, appearing on behalf of the defendant, Mr. Brian Lane. Mr. Lane, please state your name for the court.
Brian Lane.
Thank you, Mr. Lane. Today is the day and time set for the adjourned pre-trial on this matter. Mr. Hadley, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, after some discussions with the prosecutor, we would like to accept the plea offer whereby the current charges of DWLS and fail to stop a property damage accident will be dismissed, and we will be pleading responsible to 2 separate double parking civil infractions.
Was there any conversation or agreement as to the fines in these matters, Mr. Hadley?
There was not, Your Honor. We'll leave that to the court's discretion.
I believe we indicated $250 each,
Oh.
didn't we, Mr. Hatley?
My apologies, Mr. Young. Your Honor, I don't, I concur. That sounds great. I think I just misunderstood.
250 per, Mr. Young?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Lane, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. You may put your hand down. You had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Hadley this morning about these cases. Do you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties?
Yes, I do.
And after having those conversations, sir, is your understanding that you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to 2 different counts of double parking for the in exchange for the misdemeanors being dismissed?
Yes.
And sir, for purposes of resolving these cases, is it your testimony that on January 29, 2023 in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
For purposes of this morning's hearings, Mr. Lane, the court accepts your plea of responsible to these double parking civil infractions and will dismiss the 2 misdemeanors. The court will assess fines of $250 in each matter. Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay these amounts?
Just a week.
Just a week, let's say
Yeah,
14 days, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Anything else in this matter, Mr. Hadley?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Lane, thank you so much for your patience this morning, sir. You're free to go. You may walk right out that door to your left.
Thank you.
Andy, is there something I can help you with this morning? Mr. Young, this is a recall of the Utley matters. They end in 407 A and B. Ma'am, you've had an opportunity to speak to Mr. Young.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
How are we proceeding, Mr. Young?
Your Honor, I was going to ask the court to adjourn this until June the 8th. I needed it. This is a dog at large. There was some interaction with neighbors, and I was going to contact the neighbors, but I see there's a Sharita Calloway indicated as a witness in the Utley case. So if you could kindly put me in a breakout room with her, I can talk to her and see what I can do today. May not need an adjournment.
Thank you. And we'll get Ms. Calloway moved in there, but before you go, Mr. Young, had you had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Bowditch?
Yes.
Any resolution to the cabins matter?
Your Honor, I believe there may be if I could speak with Mr. Cavins.
I haven't seen him yet.
There is a resolution when he comes in, Your Honor. I believe so.
Okay, keep an eye out for him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Bitar, had you already reached an agreement with Mr. Young on the Garrett matter?
I have, Your Honor, just so you know, though, I see Mr. Cavins in my waiting room, the MIDC waiting room.
That Mr. Bowditch should get there with him, or Mary Ann can help move him around so that they may meet.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks, Dan.
These are 2-3.
Welcome.
These are 2-3 SU 00461 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Dewan Garrett. May I have your appearances, please?
Dewan Garrett.
Robert Young, Your Honor, Sumter Township. I see there's an indication of MIDC, or am I reading that wrong?
No, that's correct, Mr.
It
Young.
is MIDC.
Oh, that's yours, Dan. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. Dan Bitar on behalf of Mr. Garrett, Your Honor.
Mr. Bitar, today is the day and time set for the arraignment and pretrial in these matters. In this matter, how are we proceeding?
Your Honor, Mr. Young has agreed to dismiss the original charges. My client will plead responsible to double parking with a stipulated fine of $300.
Mr. Garrett, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Bitar. You understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having the opportunity to discuss this case with him, it's your understanding you'll be tendering a plea of responsible to the added count of double parking and the original driving while license suspended misdemeanor, and the equipment violation will be dismissed.
Yes.
And you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yeah.
You may put your hand down, sir. I'm sorry. You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily. You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything?
Yes.
Yes, you have not been?
Yes, I have not been. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. I asked the question in such a convoluted way. I have to figure out how to make it simpler. For purposes of resolving this case, Mr. Garrett, is it your understanding that on April 26, 2023, you were double parked contrary to law?
Yes.
Mr. Garrett, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, will dismiss the original civil infraction along with the misdemeanor of driving while license suspended. As indicated by Mr. Bitar, the fine in this matter will be $300. Do you need more than 5 days to pay this amount?
No, I can pay it today.
Maybe not today, Mr. Garrett, because my secretary needs an opportunity to put this case in, but if you can get here tomorrow, it would be fantastic. You can pay online or you can pay in person.
Can I get the online information, because I work tomorrow, 12 to 8. If that is okay with you.
Mary Ann, Mr. Garrett, let's see, Mary Ann, could you get this put in so he can pay it today?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry.
I'll do it
Then,
right
Mr. Garrett,
now.
thank you. I'll put your file on the side, so when you get to court today, they'll know that you'll be here to pay it, okay?
Okay.
Anything else, Mr. Garrett?
The court address is on my ticket, so
It is. It's
okay.
11129 Wayne Road. We're right. Do you know where the library and the city hall are?
No, I'm new out here. Sorry.
Oh, Southfield, sorry. It's right on your ticket.
Okay, thank you. And I
Thank
can
you.
what's the latest I can come?
3:30.
Okay,
Anything else, Mr. Garrett?
that'll be all.
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
You too.
Mr. Bowditch, are you ready, sir?
Ready on Mr. Cabbage, Your Honor.
This is 23SU000420M. This is Sumter Township versus Anthony Cavins. May I have your appearance, please?
Your Honor, for the record, Jeffrey Bowditch appearing on behalf of and with Mr. Cavins. Mr. Cavins, could you tell the judge your name for the record, please?
Anthony Cavins.
Thank you. Your Honor, today's date and time set for pretrial in this matter. I've met with Mr. Cavins. I've met with the prosecutor. We do have a plea agreement in which Mr. Cavins would be pleading guilty to the charge of interfering with a police officer with the understanding the matter would be taken under 771, statute 771 for a period of 6 months. If he complies with all the court's wishes, the court hopefully will consider at that time a dismissal of the charges.
Thank you. Mr. Cavins, raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down, sir. You've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Bowditch, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes.
And after having that conversation, sir, it's your understanding you'll be tendering a plea of guilty as charged to interfering with the police.
Yes.
And you understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes.
And sir, you're entering this plea freely and voluntarily.
Yes.
You haven't been threatened in any way, promised anything to get you to plead guilty.
No.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Sir, is it true that on January 9, 2023 in Sumter Township, you interfered with the police by failing to stop for a traffic stop?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Bowditch?
Satisfied, Your Honor.
Mr. Cavins, the court accepts your plea of guilty as charged to interfering with the police. As indicated by Mr. Bowditch, sentencing in this matter will be delayed for a period of 6 months. During that time, sir, if you don't commit any new offenses in the state of Michigan and pay costs of $300, the court will review the matter administratively for dismissal. Understood?
Yes.
Sir, do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes.
We'll move you into the collections room. You can set that payment plan with Maria. Other than that, sir, again, 6 months, non-reporting probation, no new criminal offenses for 6 months, and the court will review the matter for dismissal. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cavins.
Thank you, Mr. Bowditch.
Thank you, Your Honor. I believe that's all I have.
Have a good day, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
But isn't this matter coming before us because the attorney's saying, hey, he's contacting my client and I want him to stop? If that's the case, the guy's not an attorney, he can contact his client. Let the attorney go get a restraining order or whatever, but he can contact the opposing party's client because he's not an attorney.
Mr. Cavins?
Regards to any other filing, that's the attorney's case. What's before us is click contact my client. Well, the dude's not an attorney. He can contact the guy's client all he wants. He can contact the client. Have your client do it. Yeah, I'm working on so I can the complaint is Mr. Oppenheimer is my client and threatens to continue contacting my client directly because he does not agree with my legal reasoning. That's not. So he's not implicating representing his business. He's only, the complaint is solely focused on he's directing my client, directly contacting my client. And he's not in agreement with it. I make a motion to close the case. I second. Okay, our next is Ray West. Not a licensed attorney. She is a legal assistant. Is going through
Ms. Foley Carter, I see that you have one more case. It looks like the defendant, Mr. Coase, is in with MIDC. It will be an adjournment. So when they come out and call that, that is your last case that I see that anyone's appeared on. Anyone else is untimely.
Okay, Judge. Thank you.
during this dissolution overstepped the bounds of the legal assistance. Clients, they couldn't take their files to win. They could not transfer their files to the party attorney. And then if they did attempt to take their files, there would be a lien placed on any recovery.
This is 23HR0504514M. This is Huron Township versus Ryan Coase. May I have your appearance, please?
Caitlin Foley Carter on behalf of Huron Township, Your Honor.
Daniel Batar on behalf of Mr. Coase, Your Honor.
State your name for me, please, sir.
Ryan Coates.
Mr. Coase, thank you. Today's a time set for the arraignment and pretrial in this matter. Mr. Batar, the court has received from Madam Prosecutor indication that the defendant is requesting a 2-week adjournment to comply with the township. Is that your understanding as well, sir?
Judge, we're asking to go out 4 weeks. I just had another conversation with Miss Foley regarding it. Miss Foley Carter, I'm sorry.
4-week adjournment. That date will be,
Give me 1 second.
sorry, Mary Ann.
All right, June 22nd at 10 o'clock.
That works.
June
Your
22nd at 10 a.m. back here on Zoom with me in number 1. I'm sorry. Was somebody starting to say something? Thank you. Just as a reminder, Mr. Coates, you have some outstanding matters in the court. You owe a total of $416 on some other matters. If you have not already done so, please contact the court's collection department to set a payment plan or come in person to pay these matters in full.
Yep, I spoke with the clerk before this, so I'll have it handled.
Thank you, sir. I'll see you on June 22nd. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Thank you, Your
Thank
Honor.
you. This is 23SU003170T. This is Sumter Township versus Malmstrom. May I have your appearances, please?
Your Honor, respectfully, Sam Richardala appearing on behalf of Mr. Malston. Mr. Malston, could you please say your name, please?
It's Thompson.
Thank you. Mr. Jadala, today is the day and time for the show cause arraignment and pretrial. How are you proceeding?
Your Honor, we're going to waive formal reading and stand mute. And at this time, Your Honor, he would be pleading responsible to 1 count of double parking with agreed upon fine of $250.
Sir, raise your right hand for me, please. Do you swear or affirm testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Sir, do you swear or affirm the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. Sir, you've had the opportunity to speak to Mr. Jadala, and you understand the charges you face and the possible penalties.
Yes, Your Honor.
And after having that conversation, sir, is your understanding that you'll be pleading responsible to the added count of double parking and the driving while license suspended would be dismissed?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that if the court accepts your plea this morning, you will not have a trial of any kind.
Yes, Your Honor.
You will not have the opportunity to present witnesses on your own behalf or see and cross-examine witnesses put forth by the prosecutor.
Yes, Your Honor.
And sir, for the purposes of resolving this case this morning, it's your testimony that on March 22nd, 2023, in Sumter Township, you were double parked contrary to law.
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Young?
Yes, Your Honor.
Satisfied, Mr. Jadala?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, the court accepts your plea of responsible to the added count of double parking, will dismiss the driving while license suspended charge. As indicated by Mr. Jadala, the court will assess a fine of $250. There is one $50 show cause fee that the court cannot waive. That's a total of $300, sir. Do you need more than 5 days to pay that amount?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir, what you'll see is an invitation to go into the collections room. Please go there and speak to Maria. She will set a payment plan on the $300 in this matter. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. This is a recall of the Utley matters that end in 407 A and B. Mr. Young and ma'am, you've had the opportunity to go into the breakout room. How are we proceeding this morning, Mr. Young?
Your Honor, I had an opportunity to speak with the complaining witness, and additional information has been provided to me, so I'd ask the court to adjourn this matter until June the 8th. And also, if I can have another opportunity to speak with Ms. Utley in the breakout room once it's been set, so she doesn't have to try to get back in here, I'd appreciate that.
June the 8th at what time, please, Mary Ann?
9 o'clock.
9 a.m. Ms. Utley, the way the court staff has you labeled indicates that you're waiving your right to have the assistance of the court-appointed attorney. Is that correct, ma'am? It's your intention to proceed on your own? I see your lips moving, but you're muted. So we will adjourn these matters. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. In the interim, we'll set your bond at $1,000 personal. You don't need to post any money, but please be sure to continue to appear as directed by the court until this case is resolved in its entirety. That concludes the matter for today, but please go back into the breakout room with Mr. Young to discuss this matter further, okay?
Okay. Your Honor, I mean, did she waive MIDC on this? Did I understand that to be the case?
She did.
I'm going to ask her to reconsider that when I speak to her in the breakout room. And if she does, then I'll ask Mary Ann to bring us back if that's okay.
That's fine. I'll be here.
All right, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. And then Ms. Foley Carter, Mr. Batara, and Mr. Jadala, the last case scheduled in this courtroom was actually Ms. Belcher's 10:50, but the last case was 10 o'clock. I do not see any persons in the court's breakout rooms. Anyone who appears now is deemed untimely, and the court will not hear it unless you just want to hang out. I will be doing failures to appear. If we can have just one of you stay for Ms. Utley with Mr. Young just for a little bit. Other than that, this docket's concluded.
Well, I'll take off, Dan, if that's okay with you.
That's fine. I'll stay
Thank
for
you,
up.
Mr. Jadala.
You guys have a wonderful day, everybody.
Take care.
You too. Thank you, Mr. Batara.
You're welcome.
Bye, everyone.
Hi, Caitlin.
Take care.
Man.
Judge, I'm actually gonna go in their breakout room, considering what Mr. Young said. Maybe I can just take care of it right now.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
There's 22 HR 11882OM, Huron Township versus Wendy Augustinus. 23 HR 02191 BOT, Huron Township versus Renico Cheney. 23 HR 02575 AOT, Huron Township versus Jasmine Gallegos. 23 SU 00334 OT, Sumter Township versus Sarah Goldie. 23 SU 00223 AOT, Sumter Township versus Dwayne Lately. 195325 OT. This Huron Township, thank you, versus Vaughn Leslie. 23 HR 02582 BOT, Huron Township versus DeMartez Lewis. 23 SU 00261 AOT, Sumter Township versus Lawrence Loud. There's 23 HR 02855 OM, Huron Township versus Brandon McClanahan. 23 HR 02733 BOT, Huron Township versus DeMontez Pryor. 23 SU 00309 BOT, Sumter Township versus Jonathan Rucker. 23 SU 00287 AOT, Sumter Township versus Crystal Tackett. 23 SU 00238 AB OT, Sumter Township versus Chauncey Taylor. And 23 HR 02644 AOT, Huron Township versus Linderick Witcher. These matters were all scheduled for show cause proceedings at 8 a.m. It is now 10:21 a.m. by this court's clock. These defendants have all failed to appear for a second time in the matters just placed on the record. Bench warrant shall issue in each file, 5,010%. These are 20 SU 00278 A, B, and C, and 20 SU 00026 OT. These are all Sumter Township versus Samuel Hamilton These matters were scheduled for show cause, arraignment, and pretrial at 8:30 a.m. It's now 10:22 a.m. by this court's clock. Mr. Hamilton has failed to appear again. All of these matters are already in warrant status and will remain there. Mr. Young, any update?
Yes, Mr. Batar is speaking with her. She's agreed that he'll represent her. He'll be getting some information from her. I will contact him and provide him with additional information. I gave him some suggestions, and I also spoke to his client before he came in as to what needed to happen between now and then. So unless something's changed, June 8th is good for everybody in this case.
I'm sorry, you said unless something changed.
Unless something changed, unless June 8th is not a good date anymore, I think it's okay with Dan, myself, the complaining witness. I talked to her, she's still on. So we'll all be back on the 8th if that's okay.
That's perfectly fine. I will indicate that Mr. Batar will represent.
One other matter, Your Honor?
You said you have another matter?
Yeah, did Kayla Cooper, COOPER, was she taken care of? It was 9:30. I spoke to her, but maybe I got lost when I was going in and out of these rooms.
She came and double parked.
Okay, got it. Just want to make sure.
Thank you, Mr. Young.
All right, Elvis has left the building unless you need something else to talk to me about.
Take care.
Thank you.
These are 23SU00339 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Jesus Howard. These matters were scheduled at 8:30 a.m. It's now 10:25 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the B file civil infraction will be deemed in default. Show cause will be set in the A file.
Basically where he said, where the court says, you know, she's not a party and she doesn't even get to say in this matter. Before you were reading information. Other matters, other performance, litigation update, I don't know, very close to getting a consent resolution to one of our cases.
These are 23SU00338 A, B, and C. These are Sumter Township versus Paul Marks. These matters were scheduled at 8:30 a.m. It is now 10:26 a.m. by this court's clocks. Defendant having failed to appear, the A and B files or civil infractions will be deemed in default. Show cause will be set in the C file.
We're constantly reassessing our litigation cases and and then there's just one other a suspended attorney. I think they're suspended and they get fined like $100 a day for every day that they were disciplinary agency said, yeah, that's UPL. So it's nice to see that there is some sanction coming somewhere for attorneys who are suspended. know, Marie, you saw that you're part of the ALA business group. This actually came up for American Immigration Lawyers Association. An attorney posted that he had asked this question to AI and got this response, which was completely contradictory with the immigration law test. So, everybody jumped down his throat on it, on the thread. He specifically cited that, oh, this is what AI says, and this is how you can interpret this. And it completely, there was,
This is 1720160T. This is Sumter Township versus David Shucott. The matter was scheduled this morning for a show cause. There is a warrant in place. The case was scheduled at 8:30. It's now 10:29 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the warrant will remain as is. These are 23SU00398 A, B, and C. These are Sumter Township versus Anaya Anderson. The matters were scheduled for 8:50. It's now 10:30 a.m. by the court's clock. The C file, civil infraction, will be deemed in default. The A and B files will be set for show cause. Yes, Mr. Bitar.
I should be ready. I sent Miss Utley a request to get her in here, but maybe she didn't click on it.
Was there something else you wanted to do?
No, this is the only thing we need to do. We're just going to end up getting a new court date.
We already have that date
Oh,
on the
yeah.
Yulee matters of June 8th. Mr. Young came out and advised that you would be providing representation. I've already put your name in the file.
Great.
Was there anything else this morning, Mr. Bitar?
What was the time on the 8th? I'll be your house counsel anyways, Judge, but what is the time?
Mary Ann has the file.
Okay. Nothing else then, Your Honor.
It's at 9 o'clock, Dan.
Thank you.
Thank you. You both have a good day. I'll see you on June the 8th.
You as well, everyone. Take care.
See you, Dan.
See ya. Miss Utley, I'll give you a call before that court date, okay?
Fine.
All right, take care.
These are 23SU00394 A and B. These are Sumter Township versus John Johnson. The matters were scheduled this morning at 8:50. It is now 10:32 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, these matters will be set for show cause. This is 23SU004440T. Sumter Township versus Bruce Jones. The matter was scheduled this morning at 8:50. It's now 10:33 by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, matter will be set for show cause. These are 23SU00537A and C. These matters are Sumter Township versus Jessica Yoder. They were scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:10 a.m. It's now 10:34 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, these matters are already in warrant status. The court will leave them the same. These are 23SU00413A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Arthur Callaway. The matters were scheduled for 9:20 a.m. It's now 10:35 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the B file civil infraction will be deemed in default. The A file will be scheduled for show cause. This is 23SU004450M, Sumter Township versus Amanda Lang. Matter scheduled for arraignment pretrial at 9:20. It's now 10:36 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the matters will be set for show cause. These are 23SU00406A and B. These are Sumter Township versus Mark McCraney. The matters were scheduled this morning at 9:20 a.m. It's now 10:37 a.m. by the court's clock. The A file will be defaulted. The B file will be set for show cause. These are 23SU00414A and B, Sumter Township versus Wesley Mumey. These matters were scheduled at 9:30 a.m. It's now 10:38 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A file civil infraction will be deemed defaulted. The B file will be set for show cause. These are 23SU 00440 A and B, Sumter Township versus Tremaine Carmichael. The matters were scheduled at 9:40 a.m. It's now 10:39 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant having failed to appear, the A file civil infraction will be deemed defaulted. The B file will be scheduled for show cause. These are 23HR 03475 A and B. These are Huron Township versus Pishon Adams. There is actually an indication from Ms. Foley Carter in the file asking that these matters be adjourned to allow the defendant time to get licensed. Although the defendant failed to appear, the court will honor the request of the prosecutor, adjourn these matters over. Mary Ann, the new date will be. Oh, wait. My apology, the adjournment was from the prior hearing. These matters were scheduled at 9:50. It's now 10:40 a.m. by the court's clock. Defendant failed to appear. The A and B files or civil infractions will be deemed defaulted. The B file will be set for show cause. That concludes this court's docket for the day. Mary Ann, we stand adjourned.